Good afternoon, everyone. This is Queenie Clem with Queenie's Book Talk and Reviews and Readers and the Authors We Love. Today we have Pop Up Author Facebook Live Thursday midday. And first author up is Author Untamed. You can tell us all about your books and or read a snippet of your books. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I have several books out right now. The first one is called, I'll put it up here, it's called The View. See if you guys can see that. That is my erotic romance. And I will just read a short snippet from here. I'll read a bit from the prologue. And it says, Carly examined herself in the mirror. The bustier and thigh-high pantyhose she wore, which she had received at her bachelorette party, were a nice compliment to her curvaceous figure. She turned slightly, glimpsed her rotund backside, which she had tried to hide for years as a teen, then had finally accepted and embraced as an adult. Old feelings of embarrassment resurfaced at the realization that for the first time, someone other than her mother and best friend would see her naked truth. She placed her hands on the bathroom sink and swallowed the lump in her throat. As she slowly raised her head, her hazel brown eyes showed a fear that she was finally coming face to face with. You can do this, girl. Pull yourself together. She coaxed herself just before picking up her champagne flute and downing another glass of liquid courage. After placing the flute down, she stared at her 3 carat diamond wedding band and smiled. What was she afraid of? The man who chosen her and given his all to her was waiting on the other side of that door. If anyone deserved all of her, it was him. So that is a little bit of the snippet of prologue from The View. I also have another book, which is book one of the series called Never Again No More. Try to see if you guys can see that. It's called Never Again No More. Gotta bring it
Okay.
over so.
Yes,
Okay.
right there.
Okay, right there.
Mhm.
There we go. And this book is, I'll read the synopsis for this book. Born and raised in Atlanta, Lucinda, Lamika, Sharice, and Trinity are best friends who have suffered the perils of teen pregnancy. With their dreams and ambitions on hold, they struggle to find themselves and survive this game called life. Despite their efforts, the decisions they make create more trouble, and the consequences prove to be costlier than they ever could have imagined. They'll learn that to win in life, sometimes you have to lose. Journey with these young women as they try not to fall victim, never again, no more. And this one is probably one of my most favorite to read because I pulled it from personal experience because I was a teen mom.
Mhm.
So this book actually picks up when they are young women and they are early 20s, like 20, 21, 22, and they are trying to figure out that crux where they're learning that they need to grow up because they have to be moms and they have to figure out what's best for them, which relationships are best for them, all the while battling their own personal struggles and some family secrets that they have going on. So it is a lot going on with this book with these young ladies, and they each have a very unique story, but they band together as friends to help each other through it. That is part of a series. It is actually a 6 book series. That is book one. And you kind of flow with them from early 20s until about their mid 20s when everything gets resolved. So, part two of that will be out in August, but that is part one. And I also have a series that I co authored with JC called The Contract. And The Contract, here we go, is that's part one. This is a novella. We actually didn't know whether or not we were going to go into a part two, but the response was so overwhelming that we're like, okay, we're going to finish the story out. So this is part two, The Contract, and it is a full length novel.
Mhm.
And this story follows Camilla Meeks and Hosea Carter. He is a hitman for hire. She is a lick. They actually are childhood friends through traumatic circumstances, got separated, and they end up having to come together to work a contract together. And sparks and bullets do fly. This is a urban action thriller. So for
Oh,
both, that is the contract series. So those are, I have more books, but those are my things right now that I am pushing really hard. I love to write in different genres, as you can see. The Never Again No More was urban fiction. The View was erotic romance, and like I said, The Contract was urban action thriller. So I'm very versatile when I write, and I love writing each and every one of those books. They are actually available on Amazon. You can also get them on untamedpublishing.net, which is my website. But there's an audiobook also available for Never Again No More.
okay. Thank you for coming in today, and I really appreciate it. And where can people find you?
They can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and also YouTube and Twitter under Author Untamed. I do have two extra Instagram pages for my books, which is at The View by Untamed and at Never Again No More, the series. But just in general, for me, you can find me always on any social media under Author Untamed.
All right. Thank you for coming in today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I
Have a
appreciate
good
you.
day.
You too.
Bye bye. All right. That was Arthur Untamed. Alethea is trying to get in the chat, and Rashida is trying to get in the chat. But we're going to go head on with Miss Darliss. So up next is Darliss Batchelor. Good afternoon. How you doing?
I am wonderful. How are you, Queenie?
Fine. Okay, you can talk about your books, all your books, and you can read a snippet from one of them.
Okay. I want to start out with my newest book, What is God's Name? And this is a Christian fiction book, and it is about a young woman named Nevaeh Miller. She has everything a girl could want: a loving mother, good friends, and a bright future. Yet there's one thing she's missing, which is a father. Her mother meets and marries a wonderful man, and she feels like her dream has finally become a reality. However, her dreams are shattered, and Nevaeh finds herself living a nightmare. She meets a man in an unlikely place, and his name is Art Jean. And when he sees her, he can't believe it that he finally gets to meet the woman that has been appearing in his dreams nightly. He knows he has a purpose in her life. He knows that God sent her for a purpose. And when he goes about trying to fulfill his God-given assignment, Nevaeh puts up a wall because of what she's experienced in her life. And so for him to break through that wall that she erected around her heart, it makes it very difficult for him to fulfill that purpose. So will Art be able to get through, or will Nevaeh miss out on all that God has in store for her? I would like to read just a little bit of this book, just a little bit. And I don't want to give the story away, but I am going to read this one. This. Let me see if it's too long here. It's a short excerpt.
Okay.
So her stepfather, Otis, says to her, "It's your daddy's job to show you how men are supposed to treat you when they pick you up for a date. Always stay in the car until he comes around to your side and opens the door," Otis said after opening Nevaeh's door and holding her hand to help her out. Nevaeh nervously stepped out of the vehicle and immediately noticed several people pointing at her and Otis. She could only imagine they were scrutinizing her outfit. Truthfully, she was trying to figure out how she allowed Otis to convince her to wear something that made her so uncomfortable too. She would love to return home and change into her comfy leggings and sparkly shirt, but it was too late for that. They were already running a little late to the dance, so she would just have to bear it for one night. They entered the gymnasium hand in hand, and though she was a little unnerved, she was ecstatic to finally get to experience what her friends had been speaking of since middle school. She had longed to attend the daddy-daughter, mother-son dance, and now she had a father to take her. Nevaeh looked toward the table and noticed her secret crush, Jalen Morrison, standing near it. She looked down on her outfit once again and didn't want Jalen seeing her dressed like that. Maybe I'll get something to eat a little later. So Otis leads Nevaeh to the dance floor just as a slow song began to play. He placed one hand on her waist and held her opposite hand. Make sure there's a respectable distance between you and a guy you're slow dancing with. Nevaeh peeked over Otis's shoulder to see if Jalen was watching, but couldn't find him. She assumed he must have moved to another part of the gym. You like him, don't you? Otis asked, continuing to move to the rhythm. I don't know what you're talking about, Nevaeh lied, unwilling to tell Otis the truth. Nevaeh Marie, I saw you looking at him when we first came in, and again just now. Nevaeh dropped her head, embarrassed that Otis had figured her out. I guess he's a nice guy. I don't know why you lied about that. It's okay you like him. He ever try to talk to you? No, I don't think I'm his type. Really? What does that mean? I think he likes girls who are more popular. You're capable of getting any guy you want. Look at you. You're absolutely gorgeous. Otis delicately ran his hand over Nevaeh's face. If I was your age, I'd date you. I'll tell you what. I'm going to show you what to do to get any man's attention you want. You will? Yes, but you can't tell your mother, okay? I know your mother wants to keep you sheltered so she wouldn't understand. Nevaeh threw her arms around Otis's neck. Thanks, Otis. You're the best. You're welcome, darling. I'm just doing my job. So Otis is her stepfather, the one she really thought was, the key to happiness. The man that's finally going to be in her life. And I won't say anything more, but I will just say that dream does not come to pass.
Oh, okay.
Another book that I'd like to talk about, and this is a series. This is a 2-book series so far. And this is The Make-Believe Wives, and this is The Make-Believe Family. I'm trying to get it where it needs to be. Right now. The Make-Believe Wives was written a couple of years ago, and I just like to read a little bit of the back matter, if possible. Janae and Evan Ingram have it all: a beautiful home, a loving marriage, and 3 wonderful daughters. However, Janae feels she's missing something from this perfect picture and needs some time away to regain her perspective. She soon disappears, and Evan wonders if she's run away from home. Faith Richards, the children's babysitter, steps in as a helping hand and finds herself in an unexpected love triangle with her employer, Evan, and his missing wife, Janae. When Janae returns, she finds another woman in her place, and Evan has a choice to make. Who is his real wife? And who is the make-believe wife? This is a fan favorite. I've had a lot of response from this book. And it's honestly a book that was kind of a surprise to me, but I'm glad I wrote it and followed through with it. When I finished writing this book, I did not know that there was another book in the series, but along came The Make-Believe Family. Now, this book follows the babysitter who was in The Make-Believe Wives. And she does have a happily ever after that is interrupted. So the question becomes, who is really family and who is not? So this is the second book in this series. I am working on a third book, and we're going to just have to wait and see how that turns out. Sometimes you start a book project and you get kind of in the middle of it and realize, you know what, this is just not working. So, but I do have a few other books, Something Else to Want, Secrets, and Hell is a Skyscraper. In that book, it has 3 separate novelettes in it. So I have a lot that people can choose from.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. My first question is, are you going to the CBLR this year if they have it? Fingers crossed.
Yes, I am. I'm already registered. So I'm
Really?
looking forward to that.
Okay.
I am so looking forward to that. I had a wonderful time last year.
Me too.
That was my first year, and I had been wanting to come, and I just took the leap this time. So, and I'm glad I did.
Okay. Where can we find you and your books?
You can find me at darlissbatchelor.com. And also, I am on Facebook under my name. And then I do have a page that is Books by Darliss. So I think that is author Darliss Batchelor. So you could find me in those 2 places.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you, Queenie.
All right. Take care.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
All right. That was Darliss Batchelor. And we're still waiting on some people, but we're going to go ahead on with Nick Anderson. Now, where I go? Oh. All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. Nick.
Hey, it's good. It's good to be back. Thank you so much, Queenie, for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to come back in front of you.
Okay, you go ahead and tell us what's going on with you today.
Sure. So I've got some new exciting news. I know I came on Tuesday and I shared a little bit about my book, my first, self-published book. So I am a self-published author. You can find me there. There's my name. You can see it there, Nicky Anderson. And I'm from Southern Arkansas, so a small town called Nashville, Arkansas. And if you include the cows and dogs, it's about a population of 5,000 down there. I grew up in extreme poverty, and so this book, it talks a lot about the challenges that are there. I've been blessed with the opportunity and the wonderful opportunity to be able to travel the world and just see a lot of different people, and not only to be able to see them, but to be able to bring change about in their life and them, which also changed me. And so I write a lot about those stories. I actually have some of the people that have written me after, having my time or spending my time with them. They wrote some of their testimonies about, just my presence and being there in front of them in the book. So I shared a little bit of that as well. But I wanted to come today to share a blessing with everyone that's out there. As of midnight last night, I did a promotion for my book to give away the digital copy for free on Amazon. So you can get the digital copy of this book, which is From Poverty to Prosperity, The Truth About the Wealth of God's Love. You can get it right now, currently on Amazon, for $0, a digital copy. I'm only running it for 5 days. And again, this is me passing along a blessing. God blessed me with the opportunity to be able to bring this to fruition. And so who am I to not pass along the blessings that he's given me? If he gives us all mercy, we should pass along to others. So I want to pass along the grace that he's given me and the blessings that he's bestowed upon me to all of the people that are viewing this. So that is the exciting news or the special news that I had. And that was the purpose of why I wanted to come back on today, was just to share another blessing with you guys. All
right. Thank you. You want to tell them about the book? Because there might be someone on here that wasn't on yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. So the book itself, it spends quite a bit of time, or I spend quite a bit of time talking about 3 main concepts. And those concepts, first off, love. I write about love over 180 times in the book, change and growth. And so if you look around us at what's going on in the world, this world is forever changing. It's changing at a very fast rate. Just look at what's happened to all of us. We've essentially been grounded, so to speak, if you look at what's going on in terms of, the world today. And so we're having to adapt to change. And so it talks about how to adapt to those changes. Now, here's the reality. All of us are presented with the opportunity to accept change, but some of us lack the ability to be able to make those steps or to move forward or to actually act out on faith. And I also write about faith quite a bit in this book as well. Here's the thing that it features. It features quotes, which is one of my favorite things to write. I love to write quotes. It also features a few poems as well. I did take the opportunity of reading one the other day. And it also, just different stories or messages that talk about that, and scripture. So I keep a lot of scripture as well embedded with the opportunity for the reader to go out and actually do some cross-reference. So the things that I speak about, not only do I want you to take my word for it, go out and cross-reference it with some of those things. I used, I think, Pew Research several times to talk about wealth disparities. So that's something else, another topic that's heavy that I talked about. I talked a little bit about also, what we see going on with the gun violence and just the youth, the direction that our youth is in. If you look at just the lack of role models, for example. I talked quite a bit about that as well in the book. There's an article that I titled just talking about my childhood and how my grandfather, they would talk to us. We actually had those role models. We had people that would sit down and actually, they were invested in our conversation. And that's a lost craft that we see in today's world. I talk about it in this book. So there's quite a bit of topics that I discuss. There's one chapter where I cover just a brief, small amount of my childhood, just to give a little bit of background about myself so you can understand what really has propelled me to and inspired me to be able to do the writing that I've done. A lot of people don't know this about me, but my grandfather, he was a sharecropper, and his descendants were slaves. So I am, one of the descendants of slaves. So I talk a little bit about some of the things that I learned from my grandfather. I love spending time with my grandfather as a youth. I don't know what it was that really just kept me around my grandfather, but when he was out in the garden and he was gardening, guess who was right there behind him?
You.
Now I may have been messing with the seeds or doing something else, but I was there, right? So I talk a little bit about that as well in one of the chapters. So again, it's an amazing book, and I wanted to pass along an amazing blessing that was bestowed upon me to you guys. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. And again, your name of your book so we can go get it.
Sure thing. So it is From Poverty to Prosperity, the truth about the wealth of God's love. And there's a couple of different places you can find it. Again, right now I'm running the free promotion for the digital copy on Amazon. You can also find the paperback copy on Amazon. My website, which is stepbyfaith.com, you can find it there as well. And those are where you can get the official autographed copy. So I do have, you can see the lovely signature. I'm a lefty, so again, that's the best that I can do with left hand. All right. But nevertheless, it is a signature. Right now it's on sale there as well. And then, of course, I'm on YouTube as well. So if you just search Nakia17, you'll find my channel. I share a lot of those different travel moments that I've had. I talked a little bit about some of the journeys that I've taken throughout the years. But I share a lot of the videos. So, for example, recently I had the opportunity of going to the Philippines. And while I was there, I visited one of those courts that the tenants at the court, they have an art school there, and they actually drew the entire court as a mural to Kobe Bryant and Gianna. And so it went worldwide. It was famous. You said if you look at the news, you saw it probably on the news. But I just I went there and I traveled to that place, and you get to see some of those locations. I go to exotic places a lot of times, and I show you the real, the raw, and a lot of it is first person view, so it's almost like you're there. So yeah, check out my YouTube channel. There's a lot that you'll find there. And then again, if you get a free copy of my book and you enjoy it, if you don't like it, leave me comments too. Leave me whatever comments you feel about this book. But I really feel like if you get your hands on it, it will change you, and change you in a good way, not in the way the world wants you to be changed. So we ought to get it.
All right. Thank you, Nick, for coming back in and blessing us with a free copy today. You say for the next 5 days?
Next 5 days, the promotion is running through the next 5 days. Again, I've lowered the price as well, so it's very cheap after that. But I am running something again to give you like I said, pass along a blessing. So yeah.
All right. Thank you for coming back in today.
No. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
All right.
I'm gonna leave you in the greetings of peace again. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you. All right. Now we have the other moderator of this group, Alethea Gibbs. Gibbs truth, no lie. She know I love saying that. Hey, girly girl. Wait a minute, I can't hear you. Can you hear? Say something.
Okay.
Okay.
It was muted
Hey,
before. How are you? You cracked me up. Nick
I
is funny
love
too. I'm grateful for Nick. I apologize because you see I was having trouble, but he helped me get in. So I'm grateful for him. And also I'm a lefty like him. So that's
oh.
cool. So how are you?
Fine. How are you?
Cool. I'm
Are you-
surviving.
All right. Tell us about your book, and if you want to, you can read some from it.
Okay, so let's see. Let me tell you, because I don't even know if you know. So this
Oh.
is my first book, everyone. They Don't Hear Her Cries. And then you see I had my magazine I was in. And this is my latest book. I'm not sure if you're aware.
No.
And you yes. So
Oh, right
I
there.
wrote it with a few other authors, okay?
Uh huh.
And it's all of us are sharing our domestic violence stories.
Oh, okay, okay.
So it's deep. Like it's deep. So that's my latest project. That's what I've been working on. I couldn't say anything until, the author told us it was okay to say something. Um, so They Don't Hear Her Cries. Unfortunately, I lived my life, without my father. My mother raised me and her husband. I'm grateful for them. Um, the title, it came about once I wrote my fatherless child chapter, because sad to say I literally cried. Like I was crying as I wrote it. So I'm like, you know what, that's my title. Originally I said sacrifice. I felt like I sacrificed a lot, and I went through a lot, sacrificed a lot. But once I started crying, I'm like, that's my title. They Don't Hear Her Cries. And the only reason I mention that, because I notice a lot of people, they ask like, do you come up with your title before you write or after? For some reason, it seemed like I come up with it after, because in the beginning, I'll think I have a title, and then I end up changing as I'm writing. So it's just bits and pieces of my life, living without my father, because yes, I was unhappy, thinking about him, stressing over him, wishing he was in my life. Felt some type of way, when I see other people with their real father, and I just wanted that feeling. For the longest, I used to blame myself. However, growing up, I understand it's not my fault. He wasn't in my life for whatever reason. Moving forward, I go talk to the youth and I let them know, unfortunately, daddy is in your life. However, look to your left, look to your right, look who's there. And majority of the time when I go to these classrooms and stuff and speak to youth, it's always, their mother there with them, or their grandmother. And this, because not only do I go to schools, I also get invited to other functions. And again, it's always either mommy or grandma there. So I say, you know what? Don't worry about who's not in your life. You have to focus on who's in your life. And that's just how I go about it. And I'm like, you know what? For the longest, I kept my story to myself. I said, it's so many people growing up without their father. Let me, get them hope. Let me help them cope with the fact that, he may never, ever be in their life. So, and then I share other stuff. And then it's interesting because I have domestic violence stories and They Don't Hear Her Cries. And then now my second one that I wrote with the other authors is all domestic violence stories. So it's certain messages I have in, my books.
Okay. You want to talk about your second book that you just?
It's strictly domestic violence. I'm gonna tell you this because I don't want to say too much, because it's interesting. People are like, you didn't go through that. At the end of the day, we know it's all types of domestic violence,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So my ex, it was like verbal. I just felt like I wasn't good enough for her. Like it was just never enough. I felt like she was, please, it's the truth, selfish, ungrateful, inconsiderate, some of everything. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to just, talk bad about her. She's older now. She grew up and now she's learning to be more grateful and honest. In real life, she apologized to me and all. So, I felt good about that, because at the end of the day, I realized she listened to me somehow, even though it wasn't during the relationship. At least I got through her after, you know what I'm saying? And then I had another experience. It was like physical or whatever. I just did my best not to get it too physical, but it started off with a slap. It started off with a slap. Next thing you know, she bust my windshield. Next thing you know, she pulled my hair out. Like, it was just kept adding up. And at the end of the day, I said, you know what? I love myself more. And that's how I got out of that. And I just had to really tell myself, like, you know what? Like, I matter, you know? I'm worth it. I'm worth more than this abuse or whatever. So I said, you know what? It's time to share my story. And sad to say, like, a lot of us, we go through that. We don't talk about it. We hide it. Some of us are afraid, you know? And I'm like, it's about time we come together and talk about it. And hopefully, I'm pretty sure some people end up leaving their unhappy relationships that they're in. You know, of course, that's the goal.
Yep.
So that's honestly how I feel.
Okay, would you like to read some from
All right, which one you want me to
cries?
do?
They don't hear my cries because I don't read.
They don't hear her cries. All right, let's see. And let me show you something real quick, because I want people to see, like, I updated it, right? I'm gonna show you. Originally, this wasn't here. I even updated that part. So I'm just showing people how they know that they have the updated version, okay?
Okay.
You see copyright 2015, because that's my first self-published. Then, you know, I revamped 2020. I put the editors, also the cover designer. So it's, you know, it's much better now. I don't know what you want me to read. Let me go to this fatherless child. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I don't know if y'all want to look at me or that. I don't know. But chapter 1, fatherless child. Zenobia always thought she was worthy of so much more in life, and she never understood why her mother's sex partner disowned her. Was she not good enough? Was she not pretty? What did she do to deserve her father's back? It's not like she didn't know who he was. She was very aware that her dad had other children and spent time with them. What she couldn't understand was why she never received any of that time. Growing up, Zenobia did negative stuff because she was crying out for attention. Her father was alive, free, doing well, and therefore had no valid reason to disown her. His invisibility often left her baffled. Other than holding the title daddy, he meant absolutely nothing to her. She didn't even know the man, nor did she care about him and her mother maintained a connection. Together or not, he should have been there for Zenobia. And that's how I really feel in real life. Like, I feel like no matter if you're with, you know, your children's mother or not, at the end of the day, you should always be in your child life. Like, it's no reason you're not in there. Both of you, you know, laid down, had this baby together, and that's how I feel. It takes two to make it, it takes two to raise, and that's just how I'm on it, you know. And I just feel like it's so sad. Like, it's a lot of guys that's out there. They have babies, you know, have sex with all these different people, have all these different children by different women, but they don't want to man up and take care of their responsibilities. Like, I have a problem with that, because it's no excuse. I don't care if you hate the mother, period. You should love your child no matter what. Be in your child life. Like, the child is innocent. And it's I feel like it's unfortunate that there's so many people growing up in this world without both parents. And that's why, like, whoever, you know, watching this, I'm serious. If you're not in your child life, I suggest, you know, you listen to me and be in your child life serious, because it's unfair to the child. At the end of the day, you're not hurting the parent, you know, the mother, the father, you're hurting that child. Now, that goes for both ways, because we had some, you know, unfit mothers and fathers. But in my situation, you know, I didn't have my father. That's why I mentioned that. But listen, I know it's both ways, because you have some women who don't take care of their children, as well as some, you know, men who don't take care of their children. But at the end of the day, that child needs you. I'm telling you. And sad to say, you know, everyone had a different situation. That's why I mentioned different scenarios in my book. You know, some people, they're promiscuous. They go have sex with everyone. Some of them, they use drugs. They get addicted to drugs. Like, some of them, like, people vent out in different, you know, vent out different ways. At the end of the day, it all boils down to they're venting, looking for love in the wrong places. Like, they searching for that attention that they're lacking, that they're missing in real life. So I'm telling you, if you're not in your child life, do your best to make up with your child, period. apologize, and just being your child. Like, that's how I feel.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say this real quick. In real life, you know, he's gone. I didn't mention that in the book. And the book is as if he's still alive. But sad to say, like, even whatever questions I did ever have for him, you know, in real life, I can't ever get him answered because he's gone. So that's another reason. As if you're still alive, you know what I'm saying? Your children and stuff, I just do that. Like, you know, make amends with them, forgive, and just, you know, be happy together at the end of the day, because it's going to be too late when, you know, one of you are gone.
Miss Ellen, she said, so true. Some women who raise their children should not like their fathers because of their personal pain. And she loved your story.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, tell everybody where they can find you and your books.
So, Gibbs Truth Everywhere. That's why you cracked me up when you said. And yes, that's my brand. That's what I use for branding purposes. People ask me why Gibbs Truth. At the end of the day, I grew up playing sports, love sports to this day. And a lot of people, they never pronounce my first name right. It's Alethea. They say Alethea, Alethea. They call me everything besides Alethea. So I'm like, listen, Gibbs, that's simple. Like Catherine Gibbs, just call me Gibbs. Also, from sports, my name always in the back of my jersey. So some people used to call me, you know, Gibbs or number 13. Like, they just never used Alethea. And I just went up with that. All right, Gibbs, I'm Gibbs. Also, Alethea, if you look it up, it means truth. So I said, there it is, Gibbs Truth, no lie. So that's it. And I'm Gibbs Truth everywhere. You can find me everywhere. I'm an inbox away. Just inbox me. Of course, I like to give someone a free book, but I just don't know how to do it. Like, I gotta think of something.
I got it.
All right, if you have idea, like, I want to give someone a free book, and you know, you just give me their information, I could mail it off to them tomorrow. Like, recently I've been mailing off books, so it doesn't matter. I know coronavirus is still, I'm not letting it stop my money. I will go to the mailbox tomorrow and ship out a free book to someone. Also, this what I'm gonna ask you. Do you want me to pick two different people, or do you want me to pick one? Because I do want to get on one of each.
You can do two. Because I'm finna go purchase yours now in a minute.
No, but I'm saying, should the one person get both books, or
oh no, split it up. Split it up.
So I'm gonna give one and one away. All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Stay safe, everyone.
You too.
Thank you.
All right, that was Alethea Gibbs, Truth, No Lie. She is also a moderator in the group, so if you need to hook up with her, please do. Okay, we have our next author in the house. How you doing? Good afternoon. You on mute. Can't hear you. All right, while we wait for our next author to come on, this afternoon, we're doing this again at 6:30, and on the docket, or I wouldn't say docket, they ain't gonna say docket. On the panel tonight at 6:30, there's author Dr. Velma Bagby. 6:45, Nicole Martin Hill. 6:55, Sheena Blinkley. I know I'm messing up these names. 7:05, Julie Thomas. 7:15, Patrice Rivers. And 7:25, Jamila Smith. So 7:25, excuse me. So from 6:30 to 7:30, please come back. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more on the panel for tonight's. And if you would like to be on the Pop-Up Authors Facebook Live in this group. You can email me or tag me in the group. I'm doing this every Tuesday and Thursday, 2:30 to 2:30 to 3:30 and 6:30 to 7:30. So if you would like to participate in this pop-up live, Author Live here in our group, it's every Tuesday and Thursday for the remainder of April from 2:30 to 3:30, 6:30 to 7:30. All right. All right. Let me see what's going on. Let me see what's going on. All right. I don't know what happened to the other author, so let me see what is going on. Let me see what is going on. I want to give everyone an opportunity to come on. Okay, let's go back, and I'm going to thank everybody for coming in. My mentor, Barbara Joe, how you doing? There's Marty. How you doing? My book bestie, Ellen Sutter. Hey, AJ, how you doing? How you doing? Arthur Kimberly Smith, Miss Phoenix, Miss King. Woo! And our founder of our group is Jennifer Sunshine Campbell. Hey, Jennifer. And then we got my girl Michelle in the house and Miss Zorn. Wait for her to come back. Yes, yes, yes. And again, thank you, Nick and Untamed, Author Untamed, Alethea, Author Untamed, Darliss, and Nick for coming in today. I really, really appreciate y'all very, very, very much. Continue to post, like, share out in our group. Please join in the discussions. That would be greatly appreciated. I love this group. I know it's not my group, but it's actually Jennifer's group, and Alethea and I are the moderators in this group, and I love the readers and the authors we love. I stay on, as y'all can see, I post all the time. I'm always on. All right, we have her back. Let's see if she can hear us.
Hear you.
Hello. How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing excellent. How about yourself? Thank you so much for having me.
Fine. Now, you're welcome to introduce yourself. Tell us about you, your books, and you can read us a
Absolutely.
snippet.
Well, I am Dr. Derashay Zorn. I am your kingdom strategist. I'm here to build strategies so that you may birth and expand in your dreams, your goals, and your destiny. I am an international bestseller, and I am a Christian book publisher and a business coach. And so I have a few books. I'm going to only read out of one of them, but one of my books is called Meant for Your Good, Meant for My Good, being developed in the midst of the disaster. And this book is about finding who you are in the midst of all the things that have happened in life. And this is an anthology. And with this particular anthology, we have individuals who in here that talks about how they understand now how their purpose was being developed right in the midst of the chaos that was in their life. My first book is Abortions in the Church, Divine Strategies to Spiritual Deliverance.
Now, this book is helping individuals around the world push forward or give birth to their dreams, their goals, their destiny, to no longer abort the things that God has called forth in their life. It helped them understand the obstacles and the hindrances that have been keeping them from following their dreams and pursuing their purpose. And so it is definitely helping people understand the things that have been causing them to abort their goals, their dreams, their desires, and to give birth to it, most importantly, helping them give birth. The last book here, and I do have a couple other books, but I'm just gonna say these three. This is 31 Ways of Influence. This is another anthology that I compiled, and this book is a book right now that is currently touring the country. It is an international bestseller in the UK, in the US, as well as Australia. And so it is touring the world. Right now, I'm actually in South Africa as we speak. I'm in South Africa as we speak. It's like 9 something p.m. But nevertheless, I thought it was a great opportunity. But this book is helping women step into their purpose, helping women to take their influence and their impact to change nations. Okay. And so I'm going to read from one of the chapters. I have 4 of the chapters in this particular book. It is compiled by 25 amazing women. Out of this book, 19 women were birthed into authorship, and all 25 went to international best-selling authors. And so I'll read a snippet out of the Invest in Your Future chapter that I wrote. So she considers a field and buy it. From her profits, she plants a vineyard. Proverbs 31:16. Success, 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 and more success. Everybody desires it. This is the chatter we consistently hear. An individual craving to become successful is a part of their DNA as children of God. He designed us to be successful, just like Abraham, Joshua, King David, the Proverbs 31 woman, Madam C.J. Walker, Oprah, Helen, Glory Brown, and so many more. Now, let me clarify. Success is not based upon your economic or social status. It's based upon you passionately loving what you do, where you are, and the direction in which you are going. It brings about peace as you freely live in being who God has designed you to be. I just only mentioned the names of individuals you may be familiar with, or they were or considered to be successful in the eyes of the world, and others successfully in the Lord. Everyone has a desire to be successful in some form or fashion. However, success doesn't just happen. The craving for it is not enough for the transformation of success to happen in your life. There is a road that drives a visionary beyond their passion of being successful to the destination of manifesting it. Investment is the key that differentiates those that desire success from those that acquire it. Faith without works is dead, according to James 2:17. And it is going to take work to obtain success. Your level of success is a direct correlation to the level of work you put into becoming successful. I believe the Proverbs 31 woman understood that very well. As we read about her, we can see that she was a doer of what she believed. She was success driven. That's why she was careful to consider the field that she bought. She wanted to make sure there was a return on her investment. And so in this particular chapter, further in the chapter, I talk about 3 components of being successful and how to make that happen as you invest in your future. So I talk about how to invest your time wisely, investing in your time wisely, cultivating your talent, and also investing your treasure. I believe that if you invest your time wisely, right? You would be able to accumulate the work that's necessary to put in for your dreams, your goals, and your desires. Also believe that cultivating our talent will help us become successful in our future. We don't start off at the height of our success. It is built daily. And so also with that being said is that our skills have to be cultivated. And so I don't become a better teacher unless I cultivate my teaching skills. I don't become a great coach unless I'm cultivating my skills of coaching. I don't become a great author unless I am cultivating my writing skills. In addition, I think the last portion that I talk about greatly in invest your treasure. If you will not invest your money within your future, with your goals, your dreams, and your desires, they are not going to manifest in your life. Investing your treasure or your money in that in which God has called forth in you, you're able to reap the harvest from it. So even every time that you have to spend or invest in your goals, look at it from that long range point of it is helping you build the success to acquire everything that you need so that your whatever your dreams or your goals are, that you can be successful in it. If it's writing a book, you have to invest in great graphics. You have to invest in having a great editor. You got to invest in publishing and things of that nature, everything that is required for that book to manifest. If it's a business, you have to be willing to invest your treasure to get the status that you need for the state and get incorporated and all those type of things that's necessary with starting a business or even expanding or continuing in the business expense as well as an entrepreneur. I call them authorpreneur, right? As an entrepreneur, we still have marketing expenses that should be continuous so that our message can reach even further. So I think that's very important. And if all three of those, you can have the money and you can cultivate your talent, but if you do not invest your time, it will not take you anywhere. Time is the most important place of investment, and so it's about it help you that particular chapter help you also with setting those priorities, because everything in the world is going to demand your time, but you got to be willing to put a demand on your time and put it in the places that's going to be beneficial and reap a reward for your future.
Okay.
I'm going to stop right there because I'm a preacher, so I can,
Yes, ma'am.
and a teacher and a coach,
Mhm,
so I can talk.
mhm. All right. Tell them where they can find you and your books.
Oh, yes, absolutely. You can find me at www.derashayzorn.com. Again, that is www.derashayzorn.com. Or you can find me on the social media platforms as well as my books at Kingdom Strategist on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. You can also find any one of my books on any digital media outlet as well.
All right. Thank you for coming in today. I really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for having me as a guest, and I just really want to thank you for being here and for everyone who was listening as well. You guys have an amazing day.
You too. Bye-bye. All right. Y'all heard it. That was our midday pop in author Facebook Live. All right. Y'all going to come back at 6:30 and we're going to do this all over again. We have again author Dr. Valma Bigby, Nicole Martin Hill, Shayna Blakely. I know I'm messing that name up. Julie Thomas, excuse me, Patrice Rivers, and rounding us out tonight at 7:25 is Jamila Smith. Thank y'all for coming in. I really do appreciate everyone coming in and helping me with this Pop-Up Authors Facebook Live. If you want to be a part of this on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 2:30 to 3:30 and 6:30 to 7:30, please reach out to me and I will gladly get you on in a slot. All right? Thank y'all for coming in. See y'all at 6:30. Bye.